There was a day humanity crossed an invisible line, a day that went unnoticed. There were no explosions, no headlines, no sirens, just silence. And yet, it changed everything. Forever. We thought it was progress. We celebrated it. Plastic, the miracle material. Strong, flexible, light, cheap. A marvel of human ingenuity. It promised a future where nothing decayed, nothing broke, nothing wasted. At least, not immediately. But what we failed to understand is that nothing in this world disappears. Everything we create, everything we discard, stays somewhere forever. Today, more than 8 million tons of plastic enter our oceans every single year. That's a fully loaded garbage truck, dumped into the sea every 60 seconds. Day after day, year after year. Relentless, merciless. The ocean, the cradle of life, is turning into a synthetic graveyard. The year was 1907. The invention of Bakelite, the first fully synthetic plastic, revolutionized the world. It was hailed as a triumph of chemistry. By the 1950s, plastic had become a symbol of post-war prosperity. Bright, clean, modern, the future. It wrapped our food, built our homes, clothed our bodies, filled our toys, our cars, our dreams. Supermarkets filled with colorful packages. Tupperware parties promised convenience. Disposable was fashionable, convenient, cheap. But nobody asked, where does it go when we're done? In 1960, the world produced just over 2 million tons of plastic per year. By 1970, it tripled. By 1980, it tripled again. And today, over 400 million tons per year. Enough to wrap the earth in plastic several times over. And the truth is, more than 91% of all plastic ever produced has never been recycled. Not once. It's still here, somewhere, floating in the ocean, buried in landfills, broken into fragments smaller than a grain of sand. Fragments we can no longer see, but that never, ever go away. And then it gets worse, much worse, because plastic doesn't stay whole. It fractures. It crumbles. Under sunlight, waves, wind, it breaks into pieces, smaller, smaller, until the eye can no longer see it, but the ocean feels it. The creatures inhale it, and now so do we. These are microplastics, particles less than 5 millimeters, but some are even smaller. Nanoplastics, invisible, airborne, drifting through clouds, falling as rain, blown by winds across continents, settling in the snow of Antarctica and in the lungs of a newborn child. A study found microplastics in 100% of human placenta sampled. Another detected it in the bloodstream, in the liver, in the lungs. Plastic inside us, embedded in the tissue of life itself. Think about this. Every time you breathe near a highway, every sip from a plastic bottle, every bite of seafood might carry invisible fragments of our own creation. It's in salt, in honey, in beer, in vegetables grown in contaminated soil. It's in the air, in the water, in the food, and in us. Plastic itself is dangerous, but what it carries is even worse. Like little Trojan horses, microplastics absorb toxic chemicals from polluted water. Heavy metals, pesticides, industrial waste, PCB, dioxins, endocrine disruptors. When plankton eat them, the toxins climb the food chain. From plankton to fish to birds to whales to us. It warps biology, mimics hormones, disrupts reproduction, weakens immunity, fuels cancers, shrinks sperm counts, alters fetal development, And wildlife? Suffocating, choking, a sea turtle mistakes a plastic bag for a jellyfish. It suffocates. A whale swallows 40 kilograms of plastic and dies in agony. Seabirds found with up to 15% of their body weight in plastic fragments. On remote islands where no humans live, beaches are buried under plastic. Fish wash ashore with stomachs filled with synthetic debris. Coral reefs suffocate beneath drifting plastic films. This isn't just pollution. It's ecosystem collapse unfolding in silence. The ocean doesn't scream. It doesn't send warning flares. Its death is silent, invisible, slow, but absolute. As floating plastics block sunlight, phytoplankton die. These microscopic organisms produce over 50% of Earth's oxygen. Every second breath we take comes from the ocean, and yet we are strangling them. Microplastics poison zooplankton, the foundation of marine life. When they die, the collapse ripples upwards. Fewer fish, fewer predators. Coral reefs bleach and suffocate beneath films of synthetic debris. Plastic also disrupts heat exchange. Floating garbage absorbs solar energy, heating the ocean surface, accelerating climate feedback loops. More heat, more storms, more collapse. The deep sea is no refuge. Plastic particles sink, embedding into sediments, smothering life we haven't even discovered yet. This is not a future scenario. It's now. It's happening. Right beneath the waves. And most have no idea. How did it come to this? How did we, the smartest species to ever walk this earth, knowingly engineer our own suffocation? It's simple. Convenience, profit, short-term thinking. A disposable culture fueled by marketing and denial. Corporations promised us a cleaner future. Throw it away and forget. But there is no away. Away is here, is now. In 2019 alone, the top 20 petrochemical companies produced more than 55% of the world's single-use plastic. A handful of entities, driven not by necessity, but by profit. They knew. The documents exist. Internal memos from the 1970s, warning that plastic pollution was inevitable, that recycling would never be enough. But the solution was silence, was distraction, was denial. And we played along because it was easy, because it was comfortable, because facing it was too painful. There are moments in history when the window for change closes, when feedback loops become irreversible, when damage becomes legacy. Are we there now? Scientists warn of oceanic tipping points, the collapse of phytoplankton populations, the breakdown of food chains, the suffocation of coral ecosystems, the acidification of deep-sea currents, the rise of dead zones, spreading like cancer beneath the waves. When does a living ocean become a sterile wasteland? When does the cradle of life become a plastic tomb? If we could listen not with ears, but with conscience, we'd hear it. The ocean crying. But it doesn't have to end this way. There is resistance. There is hope. Movements rising in every corner of the planet. Innovators are creating plastic-eating enzymes, biodegradable materials made from algae, mushrooms, seaweed. Cities are banning single-use plastics. Activists clean rivers, beaches, oceans. Indigenous communities fight to protect sacred waters. Some countries are redesigning economies around circular models where waste simply does not exist. Where products are reused, where packaging is compostable, where consumption is conscious. Every reusable bottle matters. Every cleanup matters. Every vote, every petition, every act of resistance tilts the scales. The ocean didn't fail us. We failed it. But the story isn't finished. Not yet. If there's one thing the ocean has taught us, it's resilience. Life fights. Life adapts. But it needs time. It needs space. It needs us. So ask yourself, when the next generation looks back at this moment, what will they see? A civilization that drowned in its own convenience? Or one that turned just in time? The tide is rising, but so are we. This is not someone else's problem. It's ours, and it starts now.